Good morning. Israel's permanent representative to the United Nations, Danon, will make a brief statement and take a few questions. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Today we are addressing Hezbollah's terror tunnel network, which is a terrorist organization has been able to build despite the presence of the Lebanese armed forces and UNIFIL. There have been 38 reports on Resolution 1701. At the Security Council last year, I exposed Hezbollah's violations. Yet, unbelievably, Major General Bibi, the former UNIFIL commander, had stated, and I quote, during a visit on the border with the IDF officials and Ambassador Haley, General Bibi said, "The region is calm, the situation is good, there is no need to change. The facts, however, are clear. The situation is not good. We need to see a change." On UNIFIL's watch, Hezbollah has been digging tunnels from Lebanese villages such as Kfar Kela and using its own people as human shields. Israel even revealed to UNIFIL that a high-ranking member of the Lebanese armed forces actively cooperates with Hezbollah. When UNIFIL told the Lebanese army about the tunnels, the Lebanese army sent the information straight to Hezbollah immediately, which then sealed the tunnels to destroy the evidence. These tunnels cross the blue line in violation of Israel's sovereignty. They are designed for one purpose: to attack Israel and terrorize its citizens. This is part of Hezbollah's plan to invade the Galilee, our northern part, and destroy Israel. We know this because in 2013, Hassan Nasrallah, Hezbollah's Secretary General, publicly discussed this operation, and he called it Conquest of the Galilee. He has been quiet in the last few weeks, but let me remind you what he said in 2013.
مش وارد بذهن حدا انه في حدا بلبنان ممكن يسيطر على شمال فلسطين او يسيطر.
Two weeks ago, the IDF launched Operation Northern Shield to neutralize and destroy these tunnels. So far, the IDF has uncovered 4 that cross the blue line. You can see from their locations here in the map. You can see the tunnels coming from Lebanon into Israel, next to our communities. Some of the tunnels are only meters from UNIFIL observation points. You can see that it perfectly aligned with Nasrallah's operations. This is no coincidence. What you are seeing is Hezbollah's conquest of the Galilee battle plan in action. This is just the ground component of an offensive that will use Hezbollah's arsenal over 100,000 rockets and missiles to strike all of Israel. Make no mistake, if Hezbollah forces our hand, we will act swiftly, and we will do it with full force. Thank you.
Ambassador, it's Pamela Falk from CBS News. Your Prime Minister has called for UN action. Can you see anything happening at the Security Council on these tunnels or on Hezbollah generally? Thank you.
Well, first, I think the Security Council should designate Hezbollah as a terrorist organization, the same way the Security Council designated Al-Qaeda ISIL and other terrorist organizations. That's what we expect from the Security Council, a clear condemnation, but also we expect them to say something to Lebanon, to the sovereign government of Lebanon. Because if, God forbid, there will be an escalation and there will be casualties on those villages in southern Lebanon, and I will reveal more information in the Council, the Security Council will convene and blame Israel. Today, they should demand more from the Lebanese government.
Thank you. Mr. Ambassador, what have the Lebanese said, if they've said anything in advance of this meeting? Either Hezbollah or the supposedly sovereign government of Lebanon. Are they asserting a right to invade or penetrate a neighboring state through or under a recognized international border, or what have any of them said?
Well, I believe that Hezbollah took over parts of the government of Lebanon. We are waiting to hear the Lebanese ambassador speaking to the Council in a few minutes. She wrote a letter to the Council complaining about Israel, but we haven't heard them speaking publicly about Hezbollah. And it is about time that they will confront Hezbollah. For the sake of the people of Lebanon, they should confront Hezbollah.
Ambassador, can we ask you about another issue of pressing concern right now? There are reports that President Trump is planning to pull all the US troops out of Syria. In your assessment, is the threat from ISIL in Syria finished, and are you concerned about Israel's security if those troops leave Syria?
Well, it is a US decision, and we will respect any decision made by the administration. We have our concerns about Syria, about the presence of Iranian troops in Syria, and we will do whatever is necessary to protect our people, regardless if you have American troops, Russian troops, or any other nations. So we will continue to follow our policy of not allowing the Iranians to build their bases next to our borders.
You mentioned Iran. What about ISIL? Is ISIL defeated in Syria in Israel's estimation?
Well, for sure we can tell that ISIS has been defeated in Syria. You can argue whether it's completed or not, but overall we can agree with the international community that the fight against ISIS has been successful. Thank you very much.